Ladies and gentlemen, I've mentioned to you before that, even film critics, like professional athletes, can fall into a slump. And boy, did this happen. I no sooner watched the absolutely horrible movie Incision than this one came up. Oh, you need to stay away from this one too. Cinematic class is about to begin. Your professor is in. Greetings, salutations, and other sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and the purveyor of truth in movies. And tonight's lesson plan is a film called Bullets, Justice. And it says Danny Trejo's in this. So you say, okay, let's give it a shot. Danny's in it. He's in it for about, maybe 3 minutes. He kind of comes in and goes on. He plays this character that just spouts out some. He's there to tell you that there absolutely is no God and there's just man, and that's all usually. That's the philosophy that he puts out through everybody. Okay, all right, and then once he does that, he's done with the movie and he's gone. Folks, it's listed as an exploitation film, and like everybody else who goes to the movies, I can enjoy a good exploitation film. Let me tell you what this exploits. First off, we exploit Adolf Hitler. Okay. We exploit the USA versus Russia theme. We exploit Eichmann. Remember his experiments and battles during the Nazi era? Yeah, we do that. We exploit homosexuals and transsexuals. We exploit incest. We exploit blood and excrement. No lie. Wow. When you wrap all of those together, you get something that turns out to be very disappointing. So what we have in this movie, and before we go any further, I've got to point out that I am not a big soccer fan. Don't particularly like it. But I know that a good friend, Ron, really enjoys it a lot. And he's big on this Ronaldo, I think his name is. He's a big soccer star, and apparently he's supposed to be like a Tom Brady, I guess, would be in soccer, for football as in soccer. But wow, they make fun of him in this movie too. They put a guy. I checked the credits, and it didn't say that it was him, but they got a guy in there that looks just like him, and they talk about him being a soccer star, and they just wow, they. I don't know. If I were he, I would not be very, very happy about the portrayal in this. Okay, but that is an aside. I was given some kind of hints during this thing, but I didn't quite pick it up. And shame on me for doing that after all these years. But so we have Justice, and he's supposed to be this big macho type of guy. He's supposed to be the big, I'm going to save the world. Apparently there are mutants that are taking over the world after this deadly apocalypse, and they're pigs. Okay, so they're like humanoid pigs, and this is what the battle is between the remnant of the humans and these pigs. Now, it starts off as being a regular exploitation film. There's all kinds of, sticking fingers in eyes, ripping out eyes, all kinds of gross stuff. It's total exploitation on this thing. Wanton sex, all kind of frontal nudity in it. I mean, no holds barred. And then slowly but surely, they start sticking some things in here. These mutant pigs like to defecate everywhere, and the movie shows you this, and it's like, what is the purpose? Why are we doing this? Okay, and then some of the pigs have faces that are not just pig faces; they're actually butts. Okay, for lack of a better term. And our hero Justice has a tendency to want to stick his finger into the mouth, and it starts to get really, really gross. And I should have suspected that something was coming up at that point. And I kind of like, well, let me ride this out. Scenes are chopping up all over the place. I mean, he's just popping up out of places, and you're like, wait, how does this scene connect with the other scene? Okay, so here's the bottom line. And I'm going to tell you the ending of this movie. All right. So if you think you're going to sit around and maybe watch this thing, first off, you're a fool. Second off, I'm warning you now, cut the review out because, here it comes. Here's what you have to look forward to. It turns out, okay, that this movie, instead of being the blood and gore and, raw sex and fighting pigs and all that, actually turns out to be a praise, if you will, of the homosexual lifestyle. Is exactly what happens on this thing. And we find out at the very ending, in fact, the last 5 minutes of the movie, that our big macho hero, Justice, is nothing but a queer boy. And he is actually, the war between humans and the pigs is over like millennia ago, all right? And he's just using like Sherman and Peabody's Wayback Machine to go back and live out this fantasy of him being this giant macho guy. And he's not. I mean, he's, a $3 bill, and he's hanging out with these guys that treat him like he's a $3 bill. And when the ending came on, I grabbed my head and I said, oh my God, why didn't I see this coming and shut the damn thing off? My bad. Don't make the same bad. This thing is absolute excrement on celluloid. Stay away from it at all costs. And now that you have learned what you have learned, on this one, don't say I didn't tell you so.